Hi guys, my name is Albert Tan. Welcome to today's session of second number webinar. Before we start, let me do some introduction first. Okay, my name is Albert Tan, founder of downloadsilo.com, and with me today is actually is Stuart Spice from Barcelona. So he's a founder of second number. How are you, Stuart?
Yeah, I'm very well, thanks. How are you doing, Albert?
Yes, I'm doing fine. So today we are going to have an exciting session with the members of our group. So before we actually start, let me do some housekeeping. Uh, get them to do some work first. I'll project this up. Hold on. Okay, welcome to this second number Facebook Live session. So guys, we'd like you to do something so that we can see your name as well as your profile photo in our backend. This is the link, https://chat.restream.io/Facebook. So please click it, so that you can give permission to this Restream live streaming platform to show your name as well as your profile photo. And we can actually see you in our backend, because we are not going to switch between Facebook Live as well as this backend. So if you can see us and hear our voice, please type something in the chat, and say hi, everybody. Okay, looks good. I think everybody is actually ready, and we have 12 people here already. So that's a good sign. Okay, before we actually start, I would like to ask Stuart some simple question, So, Scott, are you ready?
Yeah, sure, go for it.
Okay, so Stuart, I mean, for every webinar, I actually ask the founder, to describe, your company, why do you want to set up this company for this particular second number,
Yeah.
lifetime deal?
So basically, second number, if you don't know that much about it, is a SIM card mobile phone number without the SIM card. It's all in the cloud. So it allows you to receive calls and receive SMSs without a SIM card. So you don't need a phone contract with a provider. It removes a lot of the headache associated with getting a SIM card or a phone number, especially if you're not in that country. So we offer US, UK numbers, and shortly we'll be adding more countries too, and Canada numbers. So if you're not in the US and you need a US number, then second number would work for you. But we made it for that very reason, for people, more for business entrepreneurs and for people that want to protect their privacy. They're the main two reasons. So people that had a business that they wanted a phone number for, that they wanted to start trading from, or they wanted to use it for WhatsApp authentication or Telegram authentication or Facebook, Google, etc., etc. So it allows them to set those products up with the number, plus they can use it as a phone number contact for their business. And likewise, people that want to protect their privacy, they don't want to keep giving out their personal phone number to companies like Google and Facebook, so they can use their second number to protect their privacy and to still enjoy those services.
Okay, so I think everybody know what is a second number, Actually, I mean, during my corporate days, I have many numbers, I have 4 numbers. Four
Really?
SIM cards, that kind of thing. But now I only have 2 numbers, local numbers. But anyway, I'm going to get this second number, US number as well,
Good.
from Stuart. So Stuart, can you tell us your mother company, because that will give what they call some confidence, if the mother company is strong, the audience actually have more confidence in your company.
Yeah, sure. So second number we started that business, in beta testing was early to mid last year, but actually it's based on our parent company, which is Buzzbox Telecom. So that is a UK based company, and that one's been going since 2011. And that's been profitable since we started. And that one focuses on phone systems for businesses. So we're talking about companies that have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 100 staff, and they need phones. So it's got all the usual things you would expect from a phone system for a business. But that was predominantly for landlines. That was a landline product. And obviously, with more people moving to the web, there's more usage of products, over the top products like Facebook, WhatsApp, for text messaging and things like that. We wanted to start a business that was more mobile based. So it solved the problem of expensive long phone contracts by moving it into the cloud on a pay-as-you-go basis. And also it gives you a mobile number that you can do more intelligent things with. Like I said, as a business, especially, or as an entrepreneur, you can set up a WhatsApp business account. So you could, with your WhatsApp number, for example, you can have 2 WhatsApps on one phone, WhatsApp business, WhatsApp normal. And then you use WhatsApp business with your second number, and WhatsApp normal is the one that you have currently. So it enables things like that. Buzzbox is a fantastic business, but it's a more traditional business. It's more outbound calling, and it's a product that is geared up for small to medium sized businesses. But luckily we were able to build second number on top of that business, and so far the feedback has been very good with second number. So we're very pleased.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, actually, I like this, what I call this, your brand name, no, second number. And it's actually very, what I call, catchy, and nobody will forget.
Yeah, well, it does what it says on the tin, hopefully. So it is what it is.
Yeah, that's good, So as I told you earlier, before we start the, what I call, our Facebook Live, I have the experience of this hash, from US, HUSHED.
Yeah.
I mean, my number was terminated, because I didn't use it that often, So
yeah,
maybe you can explain that, later in your demo, how
sure.
to avoid or maybe how to deal with it, that kind of situation. So without further ado, guys, for those who have just come in a bit late, no problem. We haven't actually started. You can just paste and click this link, as you've seen in the browser or in our video. Chat.restream.io/Facebook, so that we can see who you are and what are you talking about in the back end. And here we go. And Stuart, can you please share your screen and go straight into your demo?
Sure, will do. Just hold on. I'm just going to share the tab. Right. So can everyone see that? Can you see that, Albert? Is that coming up okay?
Yeah, let me share the screen. Yes, we can see that.
Good. Okay, so as I just described, second number is a phone number in the cloud, and if you're going to hopefully be a lucky winner that wins one of these codes, or you purchase a lifetime deal, basically you'll be given a little activation code. I won't go through the setup process because it's a bit boring, and it's very easy anyway, but you will type that activation code into our webpage, and then you'll get to choose a phone number. So you can choose between Canada, US or UK numbers currently. We're going to add more countries as we go on. And then you'll be given a set of login details, a password, and you log in with your phone number. So this is the login screen. So I'm going to show you the dashboard, which is the bit behind the scenes that controls your second number. So I'm just going to sign in here. And the first section that you're presented with here is actually your SMS dashboard. So on the left, it's much like WhatsApp desktop. If you've used WhatsApp or Telegram, it uses the exact same layout. So you've got your conversations on the left-hand side. If I click on one of those, you can see all the speech bubbles here. This is a test account, by the way. So all these messages are all funny, odd test messages. So don't read into them too much. But basically, your conversation is on the right-hand side. And on the left-hand side, conversation on the right-hand side, and on the left-hand side is the summary threads. And if you're going to use this number, let's say for signing up to WhatsApp, it will also receive the WhatsApp codes. As we can see here, we've got a WhatsApp code come in here. So when you sign up to WhatsApp, you can use the text message or the SMS verification, and you'll receive the message, and away you go. And before, I'm sure many people may have this question, before anyone starts to wonder, these numbers can be used for verification on Google services, Facebook, things like that, Facebook Cloud API, so on and so forth. So if you're looking to use them with those services, they will work. So I'll just show you briefly around the system. So let's say, for example, I want to send an SMS. I can click on it, send SMS. I'm going to send an SMS to myself, and then I'll type hello, how are you? I'll click send SMS, and that will basically send a text message to any number that you wish, basically. You get bundled minute credits with the product, so that means every time you send an SMS, it will take a couple of credits out of your bundle, and it depends on the plan that you purchase, or if you get given and you're a lucky winner, you get given one of these codes. It'll take those credits out, and it's not expensive. It's 1 credit per SMS to US or UK numbers. So there you have your conversation list, and then that SMS will then go through to my mobile phone. I've just received it on my mobile phone. You can't see that, but let's go into that, and I can see if I can send a reply. And that's it, really. That's as simple as that. There's not much more to it. What you can do, and I'll show you this in a moment, is you can have notifications switched on, and you can also have emailed SMS to email. So that basically means you can have any SMS that comes in delivered straight to your inbox. I've just replied to this from my phone, and as you can see there, it says hello at the bottom. That's a message that's just come in to my SMS inbox. Now, if I had notifications switched on, you can have a notification pop up on your Android phone, or you can have a notification on your Windows PC and Mac. And yeah, and like I said, you can have it sent to email too. So that's really the simplest explanation of the SMS section. There's another simple section here, which is your contacts. You can import your Gmail contacts here by clicking on Import Google Contacts. So if you do use Gmail quite a lot of the G Suite stuff, you can import all your contacts there, and then it will show the contact's name on the message instead of their number. So here where it says Stuart Spice, that's picked up my name from the contacts here. The next thing is the web phone. So the web phone is really quite cool. It's basically a fully blown phone inside your web browser. So you just make calls from this as you would do anything else. So you can type an international number here, and it will press dial, and it will dial the number. And likewise, when calls come in, you can receive calls on this as well. Of course, you need to keep the web phone open for that. We have an app as well, but if you're just based on a web browser, or you're in an airport, or you're traveling, you can just fire up Google Chrome, open up the web phone, and away you go. We've also got lots of useful help articles here on how to set up voicemail, call diversion. You can blacklist numbers. One of the questions that crops up is, how do we stop spam, and how do we stop these spam calls coming in? And I believe this, again, is probably coming from people that may have used services like Hushed and other burner, what we call burner services. So burner services are companies that will give you a number that you can change any number of times. So what that will inevitably mean is it gets recycled a lot. So when you get given this number by Hush, that might have been given to another 20, 30, 40, 50 customers within the space of a year. And whatever they've been doing with it is going to be on your doorstep. So if they've been making lots of phone calls, you might be receiving spam calls, spam messages coming in. We don't offer what we call a burner service with Second Number. When you choose this number with your plan, when you sign up, that's it. That's your number for life. We're quite specific that you can't change that number. If you had a problem signing up to WhatsApp, for example, we would say, okay, we can change it. See if you can have more success with a different number. But first of all, that's very rare, and secondly, that's the only time we would do that. So when you choose this number, this is for yours to keep. But what that does mean, it makes them a lot more reliable. There's new legislation in America called Stir Shaken, which is basically preventing spammers from using these numbers. So you have to prove that you're not a spammer by registering your second number with what they call the robocaller mitigation database. So I don't want to get into too much detail, but it's a technical thing that we do behind the scenes that basically makes your numbers a lot more reliable. So anyway, so that's a little bit of a background on the numbers themselves. So I'm now going to go into the profile section, and this is where you can configure your account. So up here on the right hand side, you'll see where it says credit balance. It tells you how many credits you've got left for the month. You can click on this little $sign, and you can see a call history, including SMSs and diverts and things like that, so we can see where our credits have been going. If you are curious to know what it costs to call which number, they're not all fixed prices. So a US number or a UK number, if you've got a friend in America or a friend in the UK, it's going to cost you 1 credit, or Canada, 1 credit per minute. So that will eat into your credits. Let's say the standard lifetime deal plan gives you roughly 200 credits per month. That's 200 minutes. If you're calling other destinations like Spain or Asian destinations, that will change. And you can see the pricing on the Second Number website. So you just scroll down to pricing, and on the right-hand side there is a little link that gives you the full list of destinations. So you can look at that and see how much it costs to call certain countries. Some are more expensive than others, and some are cheaper. So do check that out. So that's the credits, and then you can buy more credits if you need them, but most people don't tend to go over their allowance. Notifications. This is where you enable or disable what we call push notifications. Again, it sounds a bit technical, but basically that is just having a pop-up come up on your PC or phone when a text message comes in. Then we've got a section here that says link accounts. So we've got a lot of customers that like to have more than one number. So they have one number, like a UK number, for example, and then they have a US number. And it's a little bit of a headache if they have to keep logging in separately to each of those numbers to check their SMSs. So we go to the main screen here. Because I've linked an account, I've linked two numbers here. So I can switch between two numbers here. So I've got this US number there and this US number there. So I can just flick between inboxes just by doing that. So I can switch between two inboxes, two phones, everything just from the dashboard. You could have 10 phone numbers in there if you wanted, and you can flip between each one as you need to. And the same applies with the app. The app currently doesn't have SMS integration, but it does allow you to switch between accounts in the app itself. So you can switch between phone numbers in the app. So you can have 10 phone numbers on one phone. So it's pretty cool. So I'm going to go back to the settings. I'm going to carry on going down. Change your password. That's pretty obvious. Some account details here. Now, there's a couple of settings here that are quite useful for people. There's an option here called call diversion. So if I turn on call diversion, I can type in a number. So let's say, for example, you're not in front of your computer that much. The data reception on your mobile phone's not great because you're out in the countryside and you don't want to lose any incoming calls. What you can do is you can set a diversion here. So when a call comes in, you can just type in your mobile number here or your traditional number, and it will send all calls that come in to your mobile number or your other first number, we could call it. So you never miss a call. So if you haven't got the web phone open, it will then divert over to this to your primary landline or traditional SIM-based mobile number where there's probably some sort of reception. So you don't need to lose phone calls. SMS to email, we can tick that, and that will turn on the SMS to email feature, and that's quite simple, which basically says anytime an SMS comes in, just send it straight on to my inbox, and that will send it on to the email address that you specify here, and that's it. And you can read it as and when you need to. That's it for the settings page. So it should be fairly straightforward. I mean, this product's pretty simple in terms of getting it set up. But what I'm going to show you now are what we call over-the-top features or on-the-top OTT. So this is stuff that's really useful if you're starting perhaps a small business, or you want to start a shop on Facebook or on eBay, and you need to have a number, or you need to have something like a chatbot. Then you can build all of that in Second Number. So what I'll first show you down the right-hand side, and we're adding to this all the time. This first icon here, which looks like a robot, is a Telegram chatbot. So we click on that, and this is not a very helpful demonstration, unfortunately, but you get the rough idea. But you can set up Telegram and WhatsApp. We're about to launch the WhatsApp feature in the next day or so. You'll see it appear in the product. But basically, you will build a chatbot by typing in a series of questions, series of possible options, and a series of answers. And you can see how it starts. So you start here by typing go. The chatbot says whatever the welcome message is that you specify here. So we click on welcome message. It says please update your Telegram chatbot welcome message. Hi. So you can say welcome to my chatbot. Type go to get started, or start to go back to the beginning. And then they will interact with the chatbot. So this is 4 options here, 4 or 5 options, and they tap on option 1, how much is it? And it shows them some text here, and then some more text. Again, it makes a lot more sense when you're testing this with Telegram live. And then you can move these boxes around. So we can drag a box in and we can type in text in there. We can link it up. So we say, okay, we want to link that to that, so on and so forth. And then all we do is you click export and that will set our Telegram chatbot live. If you are a web designer or you know someone that does a bit of web design, you just click on this HTML widget and we give you a bit of HTML code here that you can just copy paste into your shop, onto your sort of cart page, and then it will show the Telegram chatbot on the web page. So that's the Telegram chatbot in a nutshell. And I'll go back to the start. This isn't live yet, but I'm going to show you the WhatsApp chatbot, which is exactly the same thing. So you basically use your second number to create a WhatsApp cloud API account. Well, it's a Facebook cloud API account. We've got all the help guides here to tell you how to do that. You set your welcome message, and then you do exactly the same thing. So you type in your text, type in the option, and then the answers that come out of it after the person has selected their option. This is a very straightforward and version 1 version of our chatbot. So do keep in mind, we'll be adding to this all the time. We'll add features where you can have a downloadable PDF, or you can have an audio file play, that kind of thing. But for now, this actually works really well. You can just type in what you want the customer to see when they visit your website, and it will show this again as a HTML widget on your website. Copy and paste that, and yeah, you're done. So second number with Facebook Cloud API and WhatsApp chatbot, no problem at all. Now, again, this is another business feature. It's called an IVR. If any of you are familiar with phone systems, you'll know what an IVR is. And basically, what this is a menu system for when people call your number. So if you do have a business or you want to look professional and you get a US number to attract US customers, you can actually use our IVR builder to build a menu system. And this is really quite cool because this implements text to speech. So you can actually just put your message here. So you can say, thanks for calling Albert's download silo, for example. Please press 1 for sales, 2 for support, 3 for anything else. And then you can drag on these boxes to send the call to where you want it to go. So again, I won't go into too much detail. You can read the instructions down the side here, but you can send that call, if they press option 1, directly to your second number. So that's called the direct dial. You can send the call to a call forward. So you can select option 2. Let's pretend you've got a tech support service and you outsource that to a company, and they'll probably give you a phone number that your customers can call. You can type that number in there, and then when they press option 2, that will send the call directly to that call center, for example. Or, for example, here, option 3 for anything else, you can say, okay, if the caller dials option 3 on their keypad, we can leave a message that says, thanks, please check out our website for more info, and leave a message if you want, and we can send the call to voicemail, or we can hang it up. And that's it. And then when you click that set IVR button, that will set that live, and you will actually have a welcome menu on your phone number. And the way it works, to give you an idea of what it sounds like, you look at all these different voices you can choose. It's really quite cool. You've got English, Spanish, Mexico, Estonian, French, Hindi. So you would pick an accent that you like the sound of that appeals to your customer base. We can have a listen to it, see what it sounds like.
Hello. This is what the voice in your telephone menu system will sound like.
So that's an English voice. Can you hear that, Albert? Did you hear that voice just then?
Yes, we can hear that.
Yeah. So we want an American or an Australian male. Let's try an Australian.
Hello. This is what the voice in your telephone menu system will sound like.
And the thing is, these are pretty realistic. It's almost impossible to tell that it's not an actual person. So it's an Indian accent.
Hello. This is what the voice in your telephone menu system will sound like.
So you would just set that voice. So we say, okay, we want it to be Indian. And then we type in the message there. Unfortunately, I can't play it back to you because you would need to call this number to hear it. But when you click set IVR, it takes about 10 or so minutes for the IVR to kick in. So you do have to wait for it to process in the background. Once it's processed, it's live. So it's really quite cool. And then you've got a menu system on your second number. So for a small business entrepreneur, that's really really, really great. But I've just shown you the basics of the system. What I will say, and I saw this from a couple of the comments on the right hand side there, how does it compare to Hushed? So obviously you've seen those features. That's different. You don't get those with Hushed. And also remember that Hushed, like I said before, is a burner service. So those numbers are designed to be recycled. They will never be registered with the robocaller mitigation database, which means that to send an SMS to those numbers and to receive an SMS is almost impossible, because nowadays companies like T-Mobile and even WhatsApp, for WhatsApp verification, they will reference the robocaller mitigation database before accepting your phone number, and then it will allow you to have that as a for the app verification. If that number isn't on the robocaller mitigation database, WhatsApp will say no, we're not going to allow you to use that number. We've gone through this with lots of different suppliers, and we spent a lot of time sorting this out because it's a big bit of legislation that affected US numbers particularly. UK numbers don't have so many of these regulations, so if you went with a UK number, it's pretty clear cut. But the US numbers, we do all this for you. You don't have to worry about this database registration, but it is absolutely crucial if you want a number to make and receive SMSs on, which is why a lot of people struggle with Hushed to get SMS verifications, because they don't register their numbers on the robocaller mitigation database. So I think that's about it, and probably enough of me talking for now. Albert, did that all make sense? Are your listeners sort of getting the idea of it, hopefully?
I think so, because I've seen a lot of question being asked as well, and actually it's very clear. I like particularly the IVR feature, so which I never seen, in Hush or whatever. Okay.
Yeah, it's cool.
So that is cool. A very unique selling point, for your second number, So before we go into this question and answer of the audience, I have a few questions to ask you personally, also on behalf of the audience. Okay, when you say about US number and UK number, because of region and also because of states, I mean, what kind of a number did you let us choose? Because sometimes people want to have a New York number, some people want to have a California number, in UK, want a London number or Manchester number, that kind of thing.
Sure, that's a very good question. It's complicated. So basically, we will let you have any US number. Really, you can select from the drop-down list. You type New York, you type in California, it will give you a US number, no problem. But California is a good example. California has very strong privacy laws. So if you're based in India or you're based in Thailand or wherever, you're based outside of the US, and you log into WhatsApp and you say, I want to use this Californian number to register on WhatsApp, WhatsApp behind the scenes will see where you're based, obviously based on your IP address, because you're based in, let's say, India. And because the laws are pretty strict in California, they're obliged to stick by those, and they don't like you having a Indian IP address or a Spanish IP address or a French IP address with a Californian number. So WhatsApp will probably say, no, you can't proceed. If you're in America, probably no issue. But if you're based overseas, the best recommendation I can make is to not pick an area code unless you desperately need it that is in any of these states that are either really popular or have strict privacy rules. So as a good example, New Mexico. No one knows about New Mexico, but if you pick a New Mexico number, there's very few legislatory regulations that prevent you from using that number. So you can go into WhatsApp in some area codes in California, it will say no, but you can use New Mexico, it will say yes. So that is the thing to bear in mind. If you're based in US, it's not really a problem. But if you're based overseas, the apps will do a check in the background. They will check your IP address, look at the fingerprint of your computer system and say, you should really be in the US to be using this number. So sorry, we're not going to let you go ahead. So that's one thing. UK numbers, they don't have such open frameworks and they don't have such tight legislation. So UK numbers are not that restricted. So generally speaking, UK numbers are a pretty good option if you're just using it for app verification. But like I said, the US numbers are also fine, but you just mustn't go for those really popular. People always go for they'll always pick say Los Angeles or San Diego or New York city center. These are all red flag numbers. You go for the more strange ones, and I think you'll be fine. But we don't change numbers with second number. But if you have got a particular problem signing up to an app, we will let you swap it over, and we can try another one. But we don't do it again and again and again. We'll let you have a couple of goes, and we'll recommend a number to you. So if it doesn't work first, we'll give you another number that will. But normally it's because people pick California, they pick New York, they pick Washington, and then the system says no because of the regulations.
Mm-hmm. So what is your recommendation? You know, I mean, let's say a lot of Asian, you know, Indian, Malaysia, Singapore, or Taiwan. Which state do you recommend? You know, in US, which number? Which state?
Well, like I said, we've had a lot of success with New Mexico, Wyoming. There's a few of these strange states. What you can do as well, there's no reason why you can't do this, is when you get your activation code, go to the sign up page. I'll show you the sign up page. Can you share my screen?
Yes.
Can you share my screen again?
Yes, sharing now.
Let me go back to the sign up page. Bear with me. So when you click this little down arrow, it will show you all these different states. You can type in anything and it will come up. So New York, for example, if you picked one of these, hang on, let's try a different zone. Sometimes we do also as well. The lists are very fluid. Sometimes you look in here and there aren't any numbers, and sometimes there are. So keep checking. But basically, if you look here, you can see Cortland, New York. I wouldn't choose this number because it's New York, but I'm just as an example. It says that this number is available. You could. There's no reason why you can't just go into WhatsApp and type it in as your number and see if they accept it. If you don't really want to keep changing your number, I would recommend you do that. And then if it says yes, we've sent you an SMS, then go ahead and purchase this, sign up with this second number here. That would be the best thing I would recommend. But like I said, if you search New Mexico, I think it's NM. You have to search for towns in New Mexico. Any of these, Albuquerque, some of these, as Tijeras, places like this, they generally tend to be pretty good. Just unusual, Texas, sort of those kind of states are a little bit more sort of accessible.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I think that's a good tip, you know.
It's complicated. People don't realize it's this complicated, but there is a lot of regulations, especially since last year with Stir Shaken. It's really caused a lot of problems for the industry. So you need to kind of learn the tricks.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's good. Okay, the other question is, I think quite a number of our members are asking, you know, when are you going to have number in India, in Europe, you know, that kind of question. Other than this, US and UK.
So we've got some lined up. We've got some countries lined up. There's a couple of South America and a couple of Australia potentially is on the list. What it is, the main restriction we have is the actual local providers, the telecoms companies in those countries have to put a chunk of numbers in the cloud. So they have to cloudify some of their phone network. So we're really kind of waiting for those countries to do that. We can give you numbers for a lot of countries, but they don't have SMS support. So a lot of countries have already put a lot of their landlines in the cloud. So Indian numbers and other things, you can get them, but they don't have SMS support. So if there is anyone desperately wanting a landline number in one of those countries, just drop me an email, see if we can get it for you. But for now, the countries that do have SMS enabled landline and mobile numbers are UK, US, Canada, Brazil, Australia. There's a couple of others. There's a couple, I think Sweden. There's a few others. But I don't believe yet India has SMS enabled numbers, but we're keeping an eye on it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, just to add on, so is the Canada number is a good number? I mean, if we are from Asia?
I've not heard of anyone complain about it, actually. So Canada might be a good option, yeah. We've never had any custom. The biggest ones are the California numbers, if I'm honest. California, every time we have a problem with a customer that has an app verification issue, it's a California number. So steer clear of Californian and try Canada. And if you do have trouble, like I said, one of our support guys will help out, and we can swap it out. We can try another number for you. But yeah, we've not heard problems with Canada, and it's under different regulations, so it's helpful that they're not sort of restricted by the stir shaken legislation.
Okay, that's good to hear. And I think we should go into all the questions asked by the members. I will just project up. Can you read that after? Will you be able to
where
read?
am I looking at?
Yeah.
Price is higher than Hush, right? Okay. Yeah, I mean, we're building in. It's not that much more expensive on the scheme of things. The thing is with Hushed is they're very. I don't want to knock Hushed. I don't want to sound like I'm being nasty or anything like that. But the credit system that they use is not that clear. We really struggle to see how many credits it would cost to send to certain destinations. So SMS credit usage to the UK or the US on their websites, or I was never really able to find a very clear answer. And I had to look on forums to find to for example, to send an SMS to the US was 7 credits. So they might, on the face of it, they give you a big bunch of credits. It actually costs more credits to text SMS UK US numbers than us, which is just 1 credit. So be a little bit wary of the number of credits that they give you. And then secondly, with Hushed, the big one is, like I said, it's not a burner service. Hushed are burner numbers, which are not good. If you want to use this number properly, then you don't want to burn a number. And then secondly, for the entrepreneurs amongst you guys or the businessmen, you've got the IVR features, you've got the chatbots. We've got loads of other features in the pipeline coming. So you've got more business features too.
Yeah, I mean, after seeing your explanation, I think second number is definitely a better choice than the Hush. This question is interesting, toll-free number. Can we have that or what?
We looked into this, but we don't offer them, unfortunately. They're technically a premium number. And the other thing with those is that you have to pick up the cost of the person calling you. It's almost like a reverse charge. So there's an input cost of whatever the wholesaler will charge us, say 2 cents a minute. So if someone calls you on that number, you would have to pay for that call. So you're just basically, every call that comes in, you're paying for. So that's a big one, and it can vary, and it also gets a bit complicated if someone calls you from a very expensive location, like some Middle East destinations. They can charge a surcharge on top of that per minute call. There is also, and there's some fraud as well. There's some guys that do reverse charge fraud, where they will call you up with a sales question and they keep you on the phone for like an hour, and then you get the reverse charge bill at the end, and it costs you $50 for the phone call. And it wasn't the best idea for us to implement that. And actually, that reminds me, another thing with the Hushed question is that they actually use credits to receive calls, whereas with our US numbers and UK numbers, we don't charge credits to receive calls or SMS, but you do on Hushed. So that's another one.
Yeah, there's a cost saving, on UK number. Okay, Ramve Mate asked this question. Can you just answer that?
Yeah. So the question, limit for SMS sending, can I use a number to send it with an API? We don't offer an API, no. And I'll tell you why. So for us to offer an API, it will change the service. What we offer is, in technical terms, a P2P service. That's person to person. So the dashboard is designed for you to send SMSs. You can send. We have a limit there of about 200 a day. So you've got the ability to send out some marketing messages if you want to a small customer base, but there is no API, because that would turn it into an A2P, which is automatic to person, and that's a different type of thing. And you need to go through lots of legislationary hoops to get reliability on SMS sending. So we don't offer an API, and we never will. This is really for business use. If we bring in a tool that allows you to do some of that, that's a possibility, but it would be very limited, because the regulations are so tight now. It's almost impossible to get very, very high reliability on mass marketing SMS messages.
In terms of this API, I think the other solution will be using the official WhatsApp API. That should be more safer,
yes,
right?
Correct. Correct. See, and again, that's what we're kind of seeing. Some people think, oh, SMS, that's a really untapped old school technology that we can use to do marketing with. But unfortunately, already the legislation has blocked a lot of it as a very viable marketing tool. And honestly, the WhatsApp API has got a lot more going for it. You can send unlimited messages on that. You've got statistics, you've got user data, there's all sorts of different analysis you can do with that. It's just better than SMS, if I'm honest. But of course, if you've got a small customer base, 50, 100 people, and you need to send them a marketing message, that's fine. But as a big API, no, we won't do that. No.
Yeah, understood. So this is a native app for iOS and Android.
Yeah, Android we have, that's on the App Store now. The iOS should be ready. Well, we're going to be test flighting another version tomorrow, so it won't go live tomorrow. But I don't think we'll be more than a couple of weeks away on the iOS, and it is a native app. It's not a web view app. It is pure native. The only thing it hasn't got, unfortunately, but we're doing this slowly as a startup, is it hasn't got the SMS integration in the app yet. So the app is for voice calls and voicemail and things like that, but not the SMS currently. But if you enable desktop notifications on your iPhone, on your Android, you'll get the SMS come in the system bar at the top. So you don't really need desperately the SMS integration in the app anyway, because if you're logging into internet banking or you're logging into Facebook and you get the two-factor authentication message, it will just pop up at the top of the screen on your Android phone. You don't need an app for that. You don't even have to install the app, and you can still receive SMSs on the phone via the notifications at the top.
Okay. So Indian number, you have
Yeah, that one's not available just yet. Like I said, we're waiting on the local carrier there, the local telecoms providers, to launch that and to put some of those numbers in the cloud. I will also say with India, they're quite strict with know your client and that sort of thing. So second number is relatively anonymous. You don't need anything to sign up to second number. You just need to type in an email address. You can use a Proton Mail or Gmail, whatever you want for privacy. With the Indian numbers, if we do introduce them, they normally ask for proof of address, proof of ownership. So if we do offer them, just keep that in mind. It won't be completely anonymous. They will request that information almost certainly.
So the LTD, I think, will go through until end of August, right?
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, guys, the LTD still another month to go. But if you need it, you have to buy now. Why wait?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, spamming. How to do about it?
Yeah, good question. Well, because we don't offer an API, it's not easy to spam. There's a text limit, and you're actually using the interface, which is not conducive to doing spam. So to spam using our platform is almost impossible unless you've got a lot of patience. And also the numbers, like I said, haven't been recycled, so they don't have any predisposed tendency towards receiving spam. They haven't been used by someone else and then recycled. They tend to be virgin numbers. So spam, we can see on our dashboards on the back end. I think we had one case where one person had some spam, and even that, it was virtually nothing. It was about 50 messages or something. So, and that was of their own doing. So honestly, we have literally, touch wood, we've not had any instances where spam is an issue. But if we have got safeguards in place, so if your number starts to receive tons of spam, it will not deallocate it, but it will prevent the processing of the spam message. It will stop the SMS coming in. It'll switch off the routing. So it does that from our side. That will be an automatic thing, and the limit on that's about 500 messages or something like that.
Okay, Stuart, come back to this misuse. In my country or in many countries, there are a lot of scammers. They use what they call the actual number to call you. Ask you to click here, click there, even to ask you the banking number, then OTP, that kind of thing. So I'm not sure whether can they use this as well. Use this second number to scam people.
Well, you can use most products to create a scam. But what I would say is that when people scam like this, they the hit rate is very, very low. So they need to spam or scam. I think something like is that for every million numbers, they get around 10 hits. They get 10 people dragged in, but they need to be able to fire off a million or thereabouts of numbers or SMSs. So this, although I complain a little bit about the stir shaken regulations in the US with this robocaller database, what is good is it actually prevents that entirely, because they cannot spoof that phone number to send SMS, because it won't be registered in the robocaller database correctly. So then it's almost like an SSL certificate. You know, on websites, when you see the padlock, it proves it's a certificate that says this really is www.downloadsilo.com, because it's got this certificate behind the scenes. The stir shaken thing is the same kind of thing, but for phone numbers. So when the spammers send the message out and they're using a spoofed number, i.e. they've copy pasted a number off of our website and they try to spam through it, the red entry won't be there and it won't be correct in the robocaller mitigation database as part of this stir shaken regulation. So T-Mobile, as an example, will not even send the message in. There are some countries that don't even allow. You have to check this, actually. There are some customers in some countries that don't allow SMSs from international destinations. You have to speak to your telephone provider. So they've got those kind of checks. So do check that. And then the other thing is, if the number is spoofed, i.e. they're copy pasting phone numbers and sending out using an API, it won't match up with the robocaller mitigation database. And therefore companies like T-Mobile won't send the message on at all. They'll just drop it dead. So that is a plus point.
Okay. Thank you for your answer. So Pravas was asking, how do you handle if the number is marked as spam?
Well, none of them should be marked as spam because they're all fresh numbers. So the only time it would be marked as spam is if the customer themselves has done something to get it marked as spam or violated the terms. If you do take a second number and you do violate the terms of Twitter, Facebook, then there's nothing we can do about that. Unfortunately, the same way Twitter won't tolerate it, we can't tolerate it, and we won't change the number. We have had a couple of customers that have used their account for some sort of abusive conversations on social media, and then Twitter has blocked them, and that's it. That can't be re-verified. Unfortunately that's the way it is. So if you do get yourself blocked because of something you've done, then we won't refund the number, or we won't change it.
Okay, so this question is about some SMS site. They don't allow in hash. Is there any restriction on second number?
No, there's no restriction. But going back to that point, for those of you that may have missed it at the start of this seminar, if you're going to pick a number, a US number specifically, certain numbers, especially in California, New York, and other areas where they have tighter privacy regulations, and you are using the number overseas, that will affect the way you sign up to an app. So I've done this numerous times. PayPal is a good example. I have a customer that says I can't log in to PayPal with this number, and then I use the exact same number on my computer and it accepts it, no problem at all. So they were over in, say, Asia or outside of the US. I'm on a computer that's on a US connection. It allows the number, and even on a UK connection, it allowed it. So you have to be quite clever. Like I said, don't pick a California number, or don't pick numbers that are really, really popular. Just go for ones that are less legislated. Like I said, we can help with that. If you sign up to a service and you can't get on that service, show us the number and we'll help out. And if we have to change it, we can change it. But really, that only ever really happens, like I said, with these Californian, New York, Washington, these kind of areas.
Okay. I mean, that is helpful tip, So, okay, by the way, this is the link for this roadmap for guys who want to have a look at the roadmap. Please go to the link.
You need to update that, actually. We've updated it with some of the ETAs, but we need to add some new features on there. We've got some new stuff coming up, so we need to add that. So we'll get that updated this week. But yeah, it's still completely valid.
Okay, Iransoa asking how to set up with a soft phone via SIP. This is interesting.
Yeah, it's a good question. Totally possible. we don't give you the password in the dashboard. Currently, if you just drop us an email on the support email address, just say, hi, I want the SIP login details for my second number. We will reply back with the password, and then you just copy paste that into your VoIP phone. So you can use all the popular ones, Bria, Zoipa, Xlite, all these different brands will work perfectly fine. So if you've got an app that you like to use, or a desk phone, a soft phone that runs on desktop that you'd rather use, by all means, just drop me an email, drop the support guys an email, and then I'll send you back the password.
Yeah, that would be very helpful, So, okay, Daniel is asking, do we need to use it, every X amount of time to keep it active?
Yeah, so this is a question me and Albert, we talked about this, didn't we, at the start? So again, this goes back to the hushed thing. So hushed, apparently, Albert was saying that they can deallocate numbers. They can remove them if you don't use them after 6 months. Now, there is legislation that says you're not really supposed to sit on a number and not use it. So it's a bit like cyber squatting on domain names, but for phone numbers. You're not really supposed to hold on to a copyrighted or trademark domain name without sort of having a legitimate use. It's the same with the phone number. Now, we haven't gotten rid of any of those numbers for our customers, but in theory, and we have to put it on our terms and conditions, you should try and use it every 6 months. So send an SMS, make a quick phone call, even if it's just a voicemail or something like that, just to keep it active. Because if the regulators say you're holding too many numbers that are not active, they may want to deallocate them. So we have to say it just to prove that they're still being used.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is quite simple, just make it a point to use it every 6 months minimum.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
So is there any recurring cost if we only use WhatsApp on that number? So no, the LTD, it's the LTD. The credit system has nothing to do with WhatsApp. So if you just use your second number to create a WhatsApp account, fine. No, you can send and receive messages over WhatsApp, and that won't affect the the credit limits at all. So perfectly fine there.
Okay. So much like asking this international calling. I think this is a helpful question.
Yeah, indeed. So basically, international calling, it's a bit difficult to describe international because you could be anywhere, calling anywhere. But basically, what it means is, although you've got a UK or a US number, you can call globally. There isn't any restriction on. There are some destinations you can't call, but these are really crazy places that you probably wouldn't call anyway. But normally, if you just log into your second number dashboard, you fire up the web phone, you type in the country code and the phone number for your colleagues overseas. Let's say you can call China, India, America, Spain, France, Europe. No problem. We call that an international call. So, there's no real limitation to where you call. It's just the pricing that changes. So the credits that
credit.
I think I've lost you a little bit there. I'm not sure if you can see me. I don't know if you're still there or I've lost. Let me just check if it's me. You back?
Yeah, you are back.
Good. So credits is for calling only, correct? Yeah. Is credit being charged for SMS and WhatsApp message? So credits are used up in a few different places. So we don't charge for any of these other features, the IVR, the Telegram chatbots, the WhatsApp chatbots, and things like that. But some of them do use up credits, although very small amounts of credits. So you would use up credits when calling numbers. You get charged credits to send an SMS, but you don't get charged credits for receiving an SMS. You don't get charged credits for receiving a phone call. The IVR will use up like 1 or 2 credits, and the WhatsApp creating the chatbot uses 1 credit. So these are nominal amounts of credits. There's really not a high volume of credit usage in there. But yeah, each one, and it explains this on every one of the web pages where the credits are being used up. But really, the big consumer of credits would be phone calls. So some destinations, if you call an expensive destination, that might be 10 credits a minute. So you want to, It's not going to be, if I'm honest, certain countries, let's say the Middle East is a classic one. There's a lot of, the downside with the Middle East is there's a lot of VoIP restrictions, and the cost of calling those destinations is expensive. So unfortunately with second number, although we try and get the prices down, calling somewhere like the Middle East is fairly fixed. You don't get any providers that do it any more or less expensive than anyone else. They tend to be quite high. So that's just the only thing really to be aware of. Just check that pricing list on the second number website for the countries you want to call.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, guys, I know you can check it on the website, whether is it chargeable or not chargeable.
Correct.
So for this question, Money and eBay, somebody was asking, he want to be very sure.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so it's quite possible because, again, the number needs to be registered with the robocaller mitigation database. But I can't remember if I mentioned this before. What you could do if you're uncertain is when you go to the sign-up page on second number, pick a number from the drop-down list and then go to eBay and try and create an account or verify that phone number. And if it says, yes, we accept it, then go ahead and finish the checkout process. And you've got a number that works. But like I said, do yourself a favor. Don't go for the Californian numbers or the popular states. Try and avoid those.
Mm-hmm. So the biggest tip is actually avoid California number.
Yeah, that's right. Everyone wants a California number, but yeah, they are the ones that are the trickiest. But try it. I mean, you might get lucky. You might be in one of those countries that the WhatsApp don't mind, and they might say, okay, yeah, go through. But I think to make your life easier, pick one that's a little bit less obvious.
Yeah, actually, we have some members are from California, but I'm not seeing them. Don't worry.
Right. Well, if they are in California, they won't have a problem because they're in the US. If they're in the US, it's fine. It's just if you're based outside the US and you're using a California number, then it's a little bit more tricky.
Okay, so Stuart, this question is interesting because they want to be very sure that this number can be used safely in the WhatsApp Cloud API.
Yeah, correct, and it can. Yeah, so I don't know if you can screen share me again. Let me see if I can. If you can turn the screen share back on, let me see if I can log back in. This isn't live yet, the WhatsApp chatbot, but I will show you why and how it works with the cloud API. So we can click on this set bot token here, and we can type in the details that are given to us by the cloud API. So here, your number, absolutely no problem at all setting up with the cloud API. We've got a guide here. Admittedly, it's not as easy as the Telegram bot. That's unfortunately the fault of Facebook. They make it a little bit more complicated to create the cloud API account. But once you've done it, you've got it, and you can use that to build your WhatsApp chatbot and all the other features that you can use with the cloud API. So if you see here, we've got a big long guide. There is a few steps involved, but if you get stuck with it or you get into trouble, just let us know. But it shows you exactly what you need to do to create a WhatsApp or Facebook, should I say, or Meta Cloud API account, and the number will be accepted by it.
Okay, thank you for your question answer. Okay, this is something to do with financial services, so for banking related account.
Yeah. So yes, the answer is yes, you can, but most banks now implement a feature where they won't allow you to sign up to, or they won't allow you to use a number that isn't native to the bank. So, for example, using a US number on an Indian bank or a UK bank, they don't allow it. It depends on the bank. You need to check the bank, but some banks don't like you using non-native numbers. So if I use the US number on my UK banking, if you were going to update the details on the website, it might say no. You would probably have to speak to someone at the bank to say, yes, I really want to use this number. Then they would allow it. But normally out of the box, a lot of banks may not want you using a US number. If you've got an Indian bank, or if you've got a French bank, or if you've got a German bank, they might not want you using a US number. So just keep that in mind. But if you're based in the US, no problem. If you're based in the UK and you're using obviously a UK mobile, no problem. But just keep that in mind. Some banks are a little bit fussy, but that's down to the bank. It's not really much to do with us.
Okay, thank you. So this is some interesting question from Charles Yo, China.
So can they use this in China? As you know, Google, Facebook, and WhatsApp are not accessible then unless a VPN. So can they use this number to set up a WhatsApp account for those who don't have or don't want to access a VPN? Good question. Again, you would have to probably test it. You would have to try the service over there. What I can say is another country that is pretty strict is the UAE in the Middle East, the United Arab Emirates. They have state firewalls that prevent VoIP communication without a VPN. But interestingly, on our soft phone, the web phone rather, the one that's built into the web browser, that one doesn't traditionally use VoIP technology. It uses WebRTC, which goes over different ports. Without being too technical, it uses a different way of talking than a normal VoIP service. So as far as signing up to something like Facebook or WhatsApp, that again is a matter for WhatsApp. I would say you probably do need a VPN to connect to WhatsApp before you can create an account. But if you're using second number for regular phone calls and receiving calls, you may find that using the soft phone, the web phone rather, in the web dashboard will work in China when other services won't. So it's worth giving that a try. It works in the Middle East. So an app, unfortunately, on the Android or the iPhone doesn't work. But if you use the web phone on our dashboard, it will work. So when I say it doesn't work on the Android phone, no VoIP apps work in the Middle East, in the UAE, or vast majority won't work, not unless they're from the local provider. Whereas in that scenario, you can even open up Chrome on your mobile phone, open up the web phone, which is completely compatible, and it will work. And you can make and receive calls through Chrome on your web on the phone. Right. Singapore telco is pretty liberated. Wish you could egg Singapore numbers. Yeah, again, it's a question of when they put some in the cloud. They haven't as yet. They are a little bit fussy, actually. Singapore can be a little bit fussy with SMS sending and receiving. But yeah, generally speaking, it's okay. But we're still waiting for Singapore to put some of those numbers in the cloud. And when they do, we'll implement it. But for now, unfortunately, we don't have them. There's a chance we could perhaps get you a landline. That might be possible. It's not a product that we've got ready just yet, but we could probably get you a landline, but it wouldn't have SMS verification or SMS functionality.
Okay, this question might have been asked. Might have been answered, but then
yeah. So, do you want to change or swap my number? Is it possible, or do I have to buy a new one? We don't swap the numbers, no. So this is a fixed. It's not like Hushed, as we said, where it can be changed every day. This is a number for life, basically. The only instance where we would change it is if you've just signed up to second number. Let's say you picked a Californian number and you're trying to sign up to WhatsApp from Honolulu, from Africa or somewhere like that, and they don't like it. We can change it then, and we'll swap the number over. But we're not going to change it just because you don't want to use the number anymore. This one's a number for life.
Okay, I think we have answered most of the question because some of the questions are actually repeating.
Yeah, yes, right. I'm looking down there. Will it work in the EU, in Germany? Yes, I'm in Germany now, actually. Let's have a look. Could we have the bot answers the users can't set emailed for reference? A couple of questions about the chat bots. Yes, we're going to be building on those features. That's a good point. Adding different features to the chat bots. What encryption does second number use? How secure is it? That's a pretty good one. Everything's encrypted. We can't guarantee the audio calls aren't encrypted because they go over so many different networks. But otherwise, SMS, everything else is encrypted. If we were to change the core details on your account, that would totally scramble all of your text messages. So we don't have any access to those at all. So that's a good question. What else have we got? Multiple devices. Oh yeah, that's a good question. Can you use multiple devices? You can, but second number in its current form is not what we call a multi-line service. Some people have put the app on, they have the web phone running, and they have another mobile with another app on it. It will, in theory, work. You can use those apps to make calls, but there's restrictions. Number one, you're restricted to one call at a time, so you can't have 3 mobile phones all with the app making calls at the same time. It will only allow one at one time. And then receiving calls will only ring one of those devices at one time. So it's not guaranteed to ring the same device every time. So really, for now, Second Number is geared up as a one-to-one. So use it with the web phone, use it with the app, but don't have tons of them open all at the same time. The solution around it is you can buy some more Second Numbers and you can link those accounts, like I showed in the demo at the start. So then you have one number on one device, one on another. And we haven't got it yet, but there'll be a thing that we build in, which is called a ring group. So when a call comes in to any one of those numbers, you can tell it to ring all of your accounts all at the same time. So that's another thing that we're going to be building in. But for now, it's a one-to-one. So yeah, install it on multiple devices, no problem. But just keep in mind, receiving calls will be on one device only, and making calls is limited to one call at a time.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you for your answer. And this is the last statement. I will just post it before we do the giveaway.
Okay,
from Krishna Swami.
Okay, yes, I've seen him, but I recognise his icon. Yeah. Get this, guys, works well with Telegram and WhatsApp and Viber. I got this from the earlier LTD, and it's amazing. Stuart's a great fan. Thank you very much.
Okay, so guys, I think we have answered most of the question, and maybe some of the question is very specific. If you don't answer it now, please maybe ask again in our group chat. Stuart will do it tomorrow or so. Okay, we need to do the giveaway selection. So let me share my screen. Hold on. Stuart, can you stop sharing your screen?
Oh, sorry. Yep.
Okay, let me bring up the...
Also, just wanted to add, Al, but if anyone's got questions, don't feel free to send me a PM or leave a message in the Facebook group. But make sure to tag me, because sometimes I don't see, because there's so many comments. Unless you tag me, I might not see it. So make sure you tag me, and I'll reply.
Yeah, it's better to tag, because or else sometimes we do not know.
Exactly.
Facebook might not show us every question, if it's not tagged.
That's right.
Okay, guys, we have a lot of people today, close to 60, 56 people, So, okay, these are the names, and bear in mind that the names are actually hand typed by me,
Excuse me, sorry.
Somebody's calling.
Yeah, that's my fault. Sorry.
No problem. Okay, so your name might be misspelled, so please forgive me, because this is hand tapping, and I'm not sure whether everybody's names is inside, So sometimes I will miss your name because you didn't show your name in the the streaming platform, or maybe I miss it, scrolling, So you have to excuse me. So time is not on our side, we just have to start now. Okay, let me see. Okay, today's 5 prizes will be 3 US number and 2 UK number. So we will pick the 3 US number first, followed by the last 2 number is UK number. So by the way, I'm not sure why UK number is more expensive than US number. Start.
Yeah, it's just there's more fixed costs to us. Just the UK suppliers charge us more money. So everything costs more in England. So
doing it to the pound.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so I will pick the first US number first. Okay, guys, get ready. I will spin once, shuffle, and get spin. First spinner is coming. Oh, Subha Imna Huda. So if you are around, kindly put in the chat that, say that you have won this, or else we have to respin again. Subha Imna Huda, are you there? Oh, You just say hi because you didn't. Yeah, this is you. Yeah, I saw it in the Facebook. So I mean, next time please show your face and show your name. I know you are there. Okay, congratulations, Subna. I'll just remove this name first. Okay, let's spin the second time for the second winner, second US number. Joginda Sama. Are you there, Joginda Sama? Joginda Sama is a very lucky guy. He has won maybe 3 times, or this is the 4th time, in the giveaway. I'm not sure, So
Congratulations.
Joginda, if you are around, you are the lucky star today. Just type your name. Yeah, I see your name. Congratulations, Joginda. You are the second winner. Let's shuffle and choose the third winner. The third winner is also a US number. Let's go. Laksya Chauhari. You're also very lucky, People who win keep on winning. He has won a few, for the last few weeks,
I wish I was that lucky.
Yeah, Laksya, are you there? Yeah, okay, I see your name. Thank you. So we have the last 2 numbers. That is a UK number. So let me shuffle and let's go. DK, Fira Lasa. I mean, these people actually won quite a number in the past, So, but they keep on winning. I mean, the wheel might not be fair. I'm not sure. Fira Lasa, if you are there, please type your name there. She's a lady. Fira Lasa. Okay, yeah, you say he's there. Thank you. So we will remove your name, and this is the last draw, UK number. So guys, this is your last chance for this Facebook Live. But you have another 5 more chances in your Facebook comment, which actually better prizes. So please, go ahead to the what you call Facebook post and comment, and we will choose a winner a few days later. So let's go for the last winner for UK number. Pankaj Kala. Pankaj Kala, are you there? Please type your name in the chat so that we know you have won. Maybe he's not here. Pankaj Kala. Guys, do you hope that he's not here? I don't see his name yet. Can somebody ping him in the messenger? Okay, I'm not sure. I don't see his name. So should we call Pankaj Kala 1? Calling 2? Ranvil, but he's not here. Pankaj Kala, are you there? Don't take too long. Everybody is waiting. Or else we have to choose again. I mean, pick another one. Stuart, should we choose another one?
I guess we have to, no?
Yeah, I think he's not there, I mean, okay, guys, sorry, Pankaj, we have to remove your name and we spin another guy. Okay, guys, you have the last chance. Let's go. Hey, Shem Suja, you must be here. Suja, I know you want this. DK, please type his name because he is from Bangladesh, from your country. Internet connection might not be too good. Okay, I saw his name, Suja. Congratulations, Suja. So that's all I have for all the 5 winners.
Congrats, everyone.
Congrats. We will do an announcement tomorrow on how to claim your prizes. So before we actually end this, second number lifetime deal webinar here, I would like to say thanks again, for you guys who have spent more than 1 hour here while waiting for us to finish the draw. And before we actually go away, I would like to ask Stuart whether you have anything to say to the audience.
Thanks for all the great questions. It's been really, really, really excellent session. Really enjoyed it, and really, really great questions as well. I think hopefully everyone understands the product and has a rough idea of how it all works. And and obviously congratulations to the winners. And there's still those extra prizes to pick up from the group. So, and thanks, Albert. It's been really fantastic experience. Really, really enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Also, I must thank you because this is actually come as a fantastic LTD, one of the best LTD around. I mean, many people has used Hush, including myself. I lost my number because I didn't use it after 6 months. Okay. So, guys, if you think that this is something for you, please go ahead and buy it. It's very cost effective. So I would say that it's a must buy if you ask me. Okay, guys. Thank you everybody again, and we'll see you in another session again. And bye bye.
Thank you. Thanks everyone. Bye. 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 Bye.